Welcome back, friends, to another beautiful day here with Southern Food Labs. And today, we're cooking shrimp etouffee. Welcome to a bite of this, baby. So the other day I was able to find some good old Gulf shrimp that were on sale at Publix, and so to start off we need to peel, because we're going to make a little simple shrimp stock. Oh boy, these look great. These have already been deveined, and so it's really just pulling the shells off. So, you know, shrimp etouffee is one of those classic Cajun dishes. It can be controversial in some circles because it's so close to a gumbo, but using these peeled shrimp shells to make a stock is a really easy way to save a little money and use up all these shells for another purpose. You know, not every grocery store carries seafood or shrimp stock. I was able to find some fish stock at Publix when I picked this up, but you know, it's expensive and not quite what we were looking for this particular dish. Just keep peeling, just keep peeling. All our shrimp, descaled, deshelled. So, just go back in the refrigerator for the time being. And we'll continue on with the stock. There's not much to this. My perpetual struggle with garlic. We're gonna move on to an onion. And none of this needs to really be that finely chopped. Kind of quarter, and eighth, or sixth. Okay, we're going to take some celery and do the same thing, about a stalk worth. Cool, and we're going to take the bottom and the top of this because we're going to use the rest of this later. Okay, beautiful. We're gonna move over to the stove and we'll get this stock going. So this is a 2-quart shrimp base, and so I have some leftover chicken stock that I'm gonna use just to kind of bring it up a notch up. And so let's see how much we've got. A little less than 2 cups. So we're gonna go in with 2 cups and 6 cups. Next we're gonna add all of our shrimp. Now we're just going to add all the veggies. And finally we're going to add about 4 or 5 bay leaves in here. 2, 3, 4, maybe 5. I'm going to turn on the eye and bring it up to a boil and then let it simmer for about 2 hours. Alright, so while your shrimp stock is kind of doing its thing, we can go ahead and start prepping some of the veggies for the etouffee itself. So we've got some celery, some jalapenos, the rest of the bell pepper, and an onion. So let's get to it. And all these little bits that I'm not going to use from like the inside of the pepper and stuff, I'm going to throw into the stock. So try not to waste anything, right? Do a nice little chop on pretty much everything. You know, it doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, pepper's done. Let's get this celery. Get this onion. So same thing with these, just a nice little chop. I'm gonna do 5 cloves of garlic. It is mo garlic, mo better. Now we're gonna go in with 2 jalapenos for a little spice. I'm gonna leave the inside of it just so it has a little more heat to it. If you don't like a lot of heat, you can remove the seeds and the core and it will be less spicy. That's all of our veggies prepped, and now we're just gonna wait for the stock to finish and then we'll get on to it. So we're back, and we're gonna start off by making a roux. We're gonna add a 1/4 cup of butter. I'm gonna let that kind of melt down. Instead of butter, you can use like cooking oil, or you can really level it up and use some type of lard, like pork fat, some leftover bacon grease. All will enhance the flavor of your roux. Okay, butter's melted. We're gonna go in with a 1/4 cup of flour. We're just gonna keep stirring this until it and the butter is combined. And now we're gonna brown this. And it will take several minutes for it to develop color. And so we're just gonna keep stirring. We're gonna stir continuously and just wait till that color develops. So as we're getting close to this, the color we're looking for, you can really start to smell the roux. It has a nice little nutty, caramely flavor to it. Okay, we've pretty much reached our color. So now we're gonna mix in all our vegetables. I'm just gonna rake these guys in. Going with our jalapenos. I'm gonna hold off on the garlic until we kind of get this incorporated. I'm gonna hit this with some salt to let it sweat out a little bit. That's about somewhere between 1 and 2 teaspoons, 1 to 2 teaspoons of salt. Time for the garlic. Train. Right when I need to be cooking. Jeez, buddy. Okay, so we're gonna go in with our 4 cups of chicken or shrimp stock that we made. Now we're gonna add our spice mix. We've got 1 teaspoon of celery seed. We've got about 1 teaspoon of black pepper. We've got 1 teaspoon of white pepper. And then we got 1 whopping tablespoon of some Cajun seasoning. And then last but not least, 1 tablespoon of paprika. I'm gonna stir. So now we're just gonna let this reduce for 10-15 minutes. Let it thicken up. We'll get some texture to it. And let that roux really start to do its work. It'll start to thicken up nicely. Had a little sample of it in it. It's packing some heat. Let's get another taste to see where it's at. Definitely got the mouth texture. I'm gonna add just a touch more salt. You see how it coats the spoon? You know that's when you're about ready. Okay, so we're now gonna add the shrimp. The shrimp's only going to take a few minutes to cook. It doesn't take very long. So you can always overcook shrimp, but you can never undercook it. So this looks about ready. We're going to wait a little bit longer for our rice, and then we'll plate up and do a little tasting. Wow, wasn't that ridiculously easy? It just looks amazing. So let's get some plated up. So I'm going to start off with about a cup of rice. You know, we've got to make it look good. Now time for some of this golden, beautiful. Man, that's what I'm talking about. Okay, we're gonna finish it off with some green onion. Man, I'm so excited about this. Just a little taste that I've had cooking, it's just gonna be amazing. So let's see if we can get a perfect bite. Some of that gravy. A little shrimp. Oh man. The sauce is super creamy, velvety. It has a load of spice in it, so if you don't like spice, you can cut back on some of those jalapenos, but man, this is just kind of everything that you would wish for in an etouffee. Oh my gosh. Well, I'm gonna sit here and finish this bowl. I hope that you find some time to make this dish yourself. If you like it, you like me, like and subscribe, that would really help me out. And I hope you find time to make this. This is just a wonderful little treat. Warms the soul, brightens up your mouth. No complaints. We'll see you next time.
Cool.